I'd like to call to order City of Lawrenceburg Board of Works meeting for tonight, August 5th, 2024. Roll call, Mr. Betty. Where's he at? Did I lose him?
He's back here.
He's still having problems with
doing it?
technical difficulties, Mayor.
Technical difficulties.
You didn't shock yourself, did you?
I hope not. Didn't do anything?
Somebody call IT.
You're supposed to push, or?
Anybody an IT person in here? Dale?
No, sir.
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
Not
What's
coming on, Mark.
IT stand
Why did everybody laugh when I said that?
What are those 2 letters?
That was,
Don't do it, okay.
I don't know. Take some good notes.
Can I get a roll call? Mr. Petty?
What we got? Board of Works. We got Board Member Tommy Roulette.
Present.
Board Member Brett Von Durant.
Yes, sir.
City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
President Kelly Milan.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, I have no announcements for this particular meeting tonight. Anybody else got anything?
I have nothing, Mayor.
I'm done.
All right, if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
I'll second that, Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. First item on the, of new business would be City Hall HVAC units. Mario.
Thank you, Your Honor. I think as council probably remembers, we had a unit go out during a council meeting. After surveying that unit, we had another unit up on what we call the high bay on top of the back part of the admin building. So our group went out and got 3 quotes for replacing both the high bay and the low bay units.
Okay.
You'll see in your packet there, there was a combination also with the 2 units to get a deduct, allowing the crane rental to be absorbed in 2 of the quotes. The first quote was with Koch Mechanical, which the total was, or is, $18,500. And that again is for both units with a deduct of $700. That's the low bid.
The other bids are in the packet.
They are in the packet, and I can read those off. DeBrawl,
Yeah, saw that.
low bay and high bay combined, $20,210.
Okay.
Corcoran is, again, high bay, low bay, $24,739.
Okay. All right.
Do we have a certain fund that we're taking this out of?
They've got with Mark, I believe it's coming out of the one maintenance fund?
Building maintenance?
Yes, yeah.
Building maintenance?
Can I ask a couple questions?
Sure.
Mario, are these 410A units or is it the new one coming out?
I think it's new. It
The new
has,
ones are coming out sometime this month. I'd like to know because if they're not the new Freon, I would like to wait until the newer ones come out.
I believe, Tony, we asked the question when we asked about the recovery, and they said it was a newer Freon. If those numbers mean anything
What
to
are
you.
they calling newer though? I don't see anything here
Can
about,
we get you the spec if needed on the models?
because I don't see anything here about the Freon that it's using. It would be R32 or R454, I think.
I mean, we're not,
It'd be kind of silly to get the 410A because that's going to go out of production. It's going out of production now. And in a few years, if we need Freon, it's going to be expensive.
totally up to the board's pleasure.
What, I mean, can we wait? How soon or how soon could we get an answer on the type of
We can call
Freon?
tomorrow and find out what the
Okay.
situation is. You want to make a contingent to that?
Now, one thing with that, though, is these new units are going to be a lot more expensive than the 410As. If those are 410As, you can probably put another $6,000 on those
Well, we're going to have to get requoted.
because they have to be explosion proof.
What we're going to ask for is the new, make sure these were quoted as the new. If they weren't, we're going to have to ask for new quotes.
Okay.
So that, if I may, that being said, there's probably a lot of more units out there that use the 410A then.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there. 410A's been in for about 15 years.
So what do you think the lifespan would be on these units, Tony, if they were the old style Freon?
If we take care of them, they'll last a long time, but we need to little better maintenance on cleaning the condensers and changing the filters every month.
The guys, they're on a pretty regimented schedule now.
Well, that's good. I mean,
Yeah.
do they clean the condensers with a water and
Water
stuff?
hose and condenser cleaner, yeah.
Good. Okay. They should last a long time.
What's your advice, Tony? You think it's okay to use the ones he quoted, or do you want to make sure that, do you want to use the new ones?
The new one's
let's
gonna be,
table
the new one's gonna be a lot more expensive.
Let's just verify,
We'll see how it
Mario.
goes, so.
Let's table it for the next meeting, because then we'll know exactly what we're, if we didn't quote the new, I would say we get new quotes. Is that what you're thinking?
That's what I would say.
Okay,
We'll do that tomorrow.
okay, thank you.
Mayor, I'll make that motion to table it.
Okay.
Till we find out more.
Second, Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So we'll table that for now. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony.
It's all right.
And Tony-
Okay, next item is on-street handicap parking application.
Yes, Your Honor. We kind of upgraded from, '07 was our last draft of the handicap. The new one pretty well is for the applicant and the doctor. We have multiple pages. This is just one needed with the signature from the doctor. Just makes it a little cleaner for both parties.
So this is just an update of the application we had.
Correct. Again, there was multiple pages with the old one.
Okay. Any questions about that?
I've only got mine answered, Mayor, so I'm good with it.
Del, you see anything issue?
No, Mr. Earlette had a great point this morning to check and make sure it doesn't conflict with anything that's in the current parking ordinance. It doesn't. I talked to Mario about it. This just makes it easier to obtain the doctor's signature. So now they've got to prove they have a placard and get a doctor's signature. Mr. Todd also indicated that the markings are reversible, so if someone moves, we can remove the handicap spot, and we do check that intermittently to make sure that people, if they move or if their health status changes, that we check that and we can take the spot away. So it seems good.
Okay. Well, then, if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the new on-street handicap parking application.
So move, Mayor.
Second?
I'll second it, Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Director Felix, we've got hiring of a new police officer.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I'm here to make a recommendation for the position of a full-time police officer. Police Chief Schneider, I believe he gave you a summary of the hiring process for the police department. So you can see there's several different testing that goes into all of the hiring. And the candidate that came up on top and that we would like to make a recommendation contingent upon perf approval, that's the one thing that we still need, is Dylan Jones.
What was the one thing he needed?
Perf approval,
Perf? Okay.
yeah.
And then once he's approved for that, he does not have the academy, correct?
Correct,
So he'll have to go to academy
yes.
as well.
Any other questions from Board of Works?
I got a question. Do we have credit for the police academy, Dave?
I think we still have a good number of banked hours. However, we are kind of running low. We haven't done any instruction up there in a little while. We do it pretty much all in-house. But we're going to get back around to doing that because it seems like a lot of our latest candidates are coming without the academy.
Okay. Saves us money.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion of the hiring of new officer Dylan Jones contingent upon perf approval.
So move, Mayor.
Second?
I'll second it, Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have no other new business for this meeting nor any old business. Either of you?
I have nothing, sir.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So move, Mayor.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next meeting I'd like to call to order is the City of Lawrenceburg Utility Board agenda or a meeting for August 5th, 2024. Can I get a roll call, Mr.?
Yeah, we got Board Member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Board Member Dylan Little.
Present.
Board Member Tommy Roulette.
Present.
Board Member Lenny Fryman.
Here.
Board Member Brett Von Nerd.
Yes, sir.
Utility Director is Billy Kennett.
Here.
We got City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
And President Kelly Malone.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, any announcements, Director?
No, sir.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mayor, if I may,
Motion carries.
I noticed we didn't have the work session minutes from 7:16 in the packet.
Yeah, they weren't in the packet. I don't know why they weren't in the packet.
Okay, well, just
Yeah, I don't know.
make sure we try to get them next meeting, I would say. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Let me ask Kelly.
Well, yeah, I'll check on that too.
You gonna check on that, Mark?
Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor.
Good one. Let me ask you this, Mr. Kennett, before we go any further. Is this your last meeting?
No,
He'll be in September.
September's
September 16th was your last day.
last day. Yeah.
But it's the
You're
first,
gonna come to the meeting that night.
I'll be here September 3rd and September 16th. September 16th is the
Yep.
rates.
Okay, all right, I got you.
And so if it's okay with you, I think I should be here for the meeting on the 16th.
most definitely.
I'm happy to go home early.
Most definitely.
We'll see you the 16th, Mr.
Yes, yes, Mr. Kennedy.
So we can blame it all on you.
Yep,
No, there's no blame.
yep.
No blame.
Okay, I was jumping the gun a little bit. Okay. Sorry about
You
that.
tried to get rid of me?
Oh, I thought, well, hang on it. I think this might be the last meeting.
Say, what's the matter with you?
Okay, all
I'm
right.
trying to keep you.
Let's go to new business.
All right. So we have in front of you the purchase of a valve exerciser with a vac trailer. And where this came about, we've had trouble in the downtown area of valves, water valves that have not been exercised for many years. And we've had some leaks, and when we need to shut those valves off, we're using a hand tool right now to exercise the valves, shut them and close them. And we've had a series of water valves that have not worked properly. We can't open, won't shut off all the way. And so it started us to look into this valve exerciser machine. And so what we did was we looked at several. We go to utility equipment shows, and they have the latest, greatest, the best, all of this. And so we did look at different valve exercising machines. The process with cleaning a valve, it's a small tube that goes down in the ground that covers that valve, and that gets all kinds of dirt, sediment, rocks, things like that. So the first process, lift the lid up. You kind of rotor-root it. You take a rooter in there to suck, and then you take the back truck and suck all that debris out so that you can get the tool down to the actual valve to do the actuation. And so the equipment that we're buying is an all-in-one package. It has a trailer, it has the pressure sprayer, has the vacuum, and then has the actuator that rotates the stem of the valve. We went out, the manufacturer controls the pricing on these, and you can tell this by the quotes that we received. We had Utility Supply Company came in at $82,740, and Lewis Municipal Sales came in at $82,819. So the recommendations go with Utility Supply for $82,740.
Explain to me how often we would use something like this?
So those valves should be exercised at least once a year.
And how come we haven't been doing that?
Good question.
Good.
There's some of those valves that have been in the ground for 20 years and have never been exercised. And
what we're coming up with now is, they're, with the hand wrenches, the nice thing about this tool here is it sits directly over the valve stem, and the torque of the machine rotates it back and forth, and you don't have any sideways pull. When you got guys on a tool, you've got, sometimes it's one guy, sometimes it's two, and they're putting torque and they're breaking the stems on those things. And so that's what we've had happen. When that happens, and it's not just one, it's been several that we've had that have went bad, and we bring a company in that can put in a valve while the water is still energized, still running. And one cost us $16,000, the other, I believe, was $24,000 to do that. So this valve actuating machine, when used properly and exercising those valves, it'll pay for itself very quickly. The problem, the fear that I have is we got a bunch of 20-year-old valves out there, and if we start exercising them, we could start breaking them, and then, it can kind of be a cascade problem. But it's something we definitely need to stay in front of from here on out and make sure we're exercising those valves.
One of my concerns that we have with valves breaking too is we're doing east side of town, and there's 74 valves over there. I counted up through the quotes that we got for the community crossings matching grant.
Yeah.
Are we gonna try to look into them before they come in and mill and pave to
Yeah,
make sure they work?
Yeah.
Because, that's
Yeah.
coming now.
Well, and what we're doing now is, some of the streets have been paved. We're in there replacing leaks and valves and tearing things up. So, and we work very closely with Mario on the paving to make sure if we stay in front of that as far as any water or sewer lines that need to be replaced. Certainly, I would think they would, stay in front of that with the valves to make sure that they're exercising those valves before new pavement is put in.
The only other thing I would have to this is and you know as well as I do, and hopefully all of you remember, we just sold a vac truck, our vac machine, back in February.
Yeah.
Because that one only had 89 hours on it, we didn't use it. Is it something that we can just, let's buy the tools needed, but is it something where we can just go rent the vac trailer when needed once a year instead of buying it and having it sit there?
So the water department tried to retrofit that vac trailer that we had to do all this on, and they couldn't do it. And so that's the reason we got rid of that vac trailer. We had tried, not we, they had tried to retrofit that. The other option would be to use the vac truck that we have now.
The big one?
Yeah, but then you'd have two pieces of equipment out there, and that's a lot of wear and tear on that vac truck, and that vac truck is a $500,000 piece of equipment. So that's the reason we think it'd be better just to have everything on one trailer right there in a small package and be able to use anything. But, the vac is what costs the money. That
Yeah.
thing is almost $60,000.
One was 59,739, the other one's 59,700.
Yeah.
I just hate to see us buy another piece of equipment, and I don't want to sound bad here, but just to sit around and, again, I reiterate, we just sold a vac truck with 89 hours on it for what, half of what we paid for it originally or something?
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact price, but it's
Do
in,
you think we could rent that vac truck once a year if we bought the tools?
from like Art's Tool Rental or something maybe, or is it a specialized vac truck or vac machine?
This is not a once-a-year thing, though. This is something that it's got to be done on a routine basis with all the valves. It's not like, it takes about 35 to 45 minutes to do one valve.
Right.
So you would have a crew going around, and it would most likely be a two-person crew going around exercising valves. So it's almost, I would say 6 months a year is what we would be using this. It's not going to be all day, every day, but to exercise all the valves that we have, it's a pretty good chunk of work for the guys to do.
Didn't you even comment one time how many, there was like, how many valves do we have, valve boxes? Is it 700?
I think so,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think with our discussion,
It's a
seven
lot. And
something.
they're gonna run into problems the first time they go in to exercise these valves because they haven't been touched in so long. So, you know, that 35, 40 minutes is, if it's nice and clean and everything works properly, you know, the first go around, it'll take a while.
Well, as you stated to me when I was speaking on behalf of this, you said they will jet it,
Yeah,
clean it, suck out the gravel and whatnot, and then
yeah,
use the actuator or whatever it's called.
yeah. The tool goes down.
Yeah.
It takes about 5 minutes to exercise a valve, to run it up and run it down. And they recommend you do it 3 times, you know, just to get movement of that valve stem. So, you know, it does take a little bit of time to do it.
Now, Billy, what do you, what, the shop vac that we got, what do you say, it's hard on it? In what
So
way?
that's what you call like a super sucker. This vac trailer that we have here doesn't have near the power of our big vac truck. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but that has a lot of power to it. And that's a $500,000 machine.
Is that gonna hurt anything by using it?
Well, it puts a lot of wear and tear on it, so that means you're gonna have to replace that truck sooner than you would if you wasn't using it.
I don't know, I use the vac trucks quite a bit on my job, and we use them for about everything,
Yeah,
all the time.
right.
And the only thing that go back would be the motor, where it's sucking,
Yeah,
and then you have to replace the motor. But the tank itself, that's what I was asking, is there debris or something gonna go in there that's gonna hit that's gonna cause it to have holes in it, or
no, it's
anything like that?
just the general wear and tear piece of equipment. You got a $60,000 piece of equipment
Right.
versus a $500,000 piece of equipment.
Yeah.
So that's the reason, you know, we wanted to put everything in one.
My fear is Tommy's fear. It's not gonna get used.
Yeah.
That's my fear.
Yeah, that'd be a problem. If you was to buy it, and it doesn't get used.
You know what I
it's a
mean?
problem.
That's my fear.
I think these guys have seen, well, they're living the problem right now because they're having to replace these valves and do it hot and tear the pavement up. And so I'm hoping it's a lesson learned that, you know, if we buy them this piece of equipment, they'll use it. If we don't, then shame on us, shame on them.
And then the other piece of that is, I mean, how many people we got in that department? 5?
5, yeah.
And you only have those 5 here on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
So it'd be 2 to do the job.
So, I mean, I agree that it needs to be done, you know, the
Yeah.
exercising of the valves. And I know we just had to pay whatever that money was for that valve, but my fear is it doesn't get done. We spend $100,000 and then it doesn't get done.
So here's another option. If we just, because the device itself is not that expensive. You're
Yeah,
looking
right.
12.3. If we would just not do the back trailer, but we do the machine, you know, that can be mounted on just about anything, any trailer or anything. So, you know, we don't have to have that back. You know, that's the big chunk of the money, and they can always use the vac truck. You know, so hopefully that will, it is a tough job to use a hand tool to do that. You know, it's a lot of wear and tear on a body.
Well, I'm not saying that, yeah, I agree with, I mean, if we can do it mechanically, we should be doing it mechanically. I wouldn't want to put 2 guys on that, and you have other issues that can arise,
Yeah,
right?
it's a lot of torque and a lot of,
But it's just the idea of if we go out and spend the $80,000 and then, you know, we end up 3 years from now, 4 years from now, selling it.
so the other option is, you know, we could go ahead and do the valve actuating machine
Equipment.
and not do the vac trailer. And then if they are using it and they can justify in the future to buy the vac trailer, we can always do that as well.
I think regardless of which direction we head, we probably need to get on some kind of preventative maintenance plan.
Oh,
for this.
yeah,
Maybe
most
hitting,
definitely.
hitting 25 of these a month or I don't know what a real number is, but hitting a number of them as we come across town, if it's been 20 years since we've touched them, you know.
What that tells me, if it's been 20 years, it's not a real fun job.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, and it's not an easy job,
No, it's not easy.
you know, because or else everybody be wanting to do it. I mean, honestly,
I've worked the valves, I know.
Yeah.
but and it's gotta be tough.
I've seen these guys, when we had the leak over here, they had to go to multiple valves because we couldn't get anything to shut off. So the more you go out, the more customer interruptions you have. And they're out there, they got a T-handle and they're
Yeah.
torquing on that thing.
And then I worry about people getting hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, that's,
yeah.
you got, your guys' decision, but I would be more apt to just buy the,
Buy the equipment.
How soon can they get the tools? Because again, I reiterate, they're getting ready to start paving over there. Can we get ahead of the game and see if they can work some in valves?
I
Is that
didn't
possible?
check on the delivery of this.
Okay. Because
But
again, it's
I would
74
think-
valves over there on the east side.
Yeah, I would think if we're just ordering the actuator itself, that would be pretty quick delivery, pretty quick turnaround time.
With my math's right, utility supplies 2340 and the other one's 2380 for just the tools without the vac.
Okay.
If that's, someone else wants to check my math, because I've done that wrong before.
23 comparatively to what's a rental cost? Say we were gonna rent it for, you know, a month or a couple weeks or whatever it took.
Well, what we're thinking is if he buys the tooling and we use our big vac truck for now just to get
I'm
started.
saying if we didn't even buy the tooling, what are we comparing this to? Is it compared to a rental cost? Did we talk about those numbers?
No,
No,
the rental cost of a vac truck.
vac truck.
Right.
I don't know if you could rent them type of tools. like
Sure.
you-
Yeah, I don't know if you can rent those tools.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
think we can.
That's a specialty item. There was talk years ago about them in the city of Lawrenceburg, Greendale, and the sewer district looking into one of them.
Yep.
Because we were having issues with our valves as well. We all thought we'd buy one and then it just went by the wayside.
These valves, Billy, excuse me, is it better to work with them when it's dry like this? Or is it better when it's wetter?
Yeah, it really doesn't matter.
Don't matter?
Yeah, because the actual valve is like 3 foot down in the ground or maybe even more. So what you have to do is that metal pipe that comes up off that valve, you have to basically rotor root that thing, clean it. They do that with water pressure and a brush, and then they put a vacuum hose in and suck all that out.
Yeah.
And then that allows them to get the tool down on the stem
Yeah.
and do the actuation.
Would you be okay if we do the equipment piece of it, it's like comes to $23,040?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's, we're good with that, and they'll have to use the vac truck to, you know, so you have 2 pieces of equipment there,
Good with that.
you know. And then if they use it and they can justify getting the trailer, that's something they can address in the future.
And your predecessor come to us and tell us that.
Yeah.
How big are the holes that you're sucking out?
Yeah,
4 or
they're-
6 inches maybe?
Yeah, they're not very big.
3 or 4 foot deep, or?
Yeah, they're probably at least 3 foot. You gotta be below that frost line. 3 foot, some of them can be deeper than that.
To me, that's kind of silly bringing that big vac truck out just to suck out that little hole like that.
They got a whole street loads of them,
We do it
Got a
all the
bunch
time
of
when we got
Streets
water
full
leaks
of
in.
them.
I mean, if you're more comfortable going ahead and buying a vac trailer, I mean, entertain the motion, but I just don't see it, man, I'm sorry.
I
just
think the
don't.
big, the
I
big
would rather
one was-
justify the purchase and let them come to us
Yeah.
later and say, hey.
Say the big vac
Yeah.
truck's not working.
I
Maybe,
mean-
you know,
I can see the justification in the tools.
yeah.
You guys just,
Well, I was,
can I get a motion to,
I was gonna entertain a motion that we go with the utility supply for the $23,040 for the tooling.
I would second that.
I got one question for, do we get the same price if we don't order the vac truck with these tools?
You know.
They're not gonna raise the
I didn't
price,
ask
are they?
that, But I would think they would honor.
I'd hope not.
those
Okay.
prices.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of business with utility supply, I don't think they would do that to us.
All righty.
I'd hope not, anyway.
got a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
To not exceed, what is it, $23,040?
$1,040. Motion carries. Thank you. Thanks, Billy.
Oh,
Yep.
That's the last thing you get to.
Willard,
before you
thanks,
retire.
Willard. Any other new business?
No new business.
Old business?
No old business, that's it.
I'll entertain a motion to review and discuss the claims for board approval.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to approve all payroll reports and checks once properly certified.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Like to call to order the City of Lawrenceburg City Council meeting for August 5th, 2024. Everyone rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. One more time, Mr. Fetty.
All right, Councilperson Tony Abbott.
Here.
Councilperson Dylan Little.
Present.
Councilperson Tom Roulette.
Present.
Councilperson Lenny Fryman. Here. Councilperson Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
City Attorney Dale Wilton.
Here.
Mayor Kelly Malone.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, announcements, board reports, streets, alleys, and curbs, downtown, Mr. Abbott.
We're all right.
And streets, alleys, and curbs up on the hill there, Mr. Fryman.
All good, thank you.
Finance Department, Mr. Bondurant.
No report, sir.
Parks and Playgrounds, Mr. Little.
No report.
Fire Department, Mr. Roulette.
Mayor, the only thing I would like to pass along is Chief Tremaine had sent me an email today saying that they sold those breathing apparatus.
Oh, good, good.
And I
good.
believe it was, if I'm reading this right, $775.
I'm glad somebody can use them.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
Okay,
there was other monies there, but I'm not sure if that's in there.
okay.
Yep. If I was wrong, he'll straighten me out.
That's good. I got a couple of items for you guys. AIM conference coming up August 8th through the 9th, or 8th through the 10th?
October.
August?
October.
October?
October, yes.
October? I'm sorry. And please let Joy know if you're going so she can get you guys a room, get you registered before the rooms will run. I think she has to do that on like by the 15th or something.
Yeah, I think they open, the registration opens the 15th.
Yeah. But if she doesn't get in there at that point, you guys won't get a room. They're going to Fort Wayne this time, so I don't know much about Fort Wayne compared to French Lick. So just let her know. Also want to let everybody know in the community that we're going to do a watch party for Mason Friday morning, starting at 5:30 or 5, whatever time. Now he's wrestling at 5 now. I think they've changed it
Yep.
again. It's 5 a.m. Plans are to have the Tron, set up after Music on the River on Thursday night for viewing at 5 o'clock Friday morning. We are going around Wednesday to any residents that are just around the park, to just tell them there may be a little bit of noise out there. We'll keep the volumes down and everything else.
Keep it down.
We don't care about this one, but, so anyway, and then what we're planning on doing is each time that Mason would be wrestling, which is hopefully through the gold medal round, we'll be showing it, but throughout the off times, we'll have the Olympics being shown and people can come over and enjoy it.
Set up on the stage, Mayor?
It'll be
Ron?
set up on stage, yes.
Bring your lawn chairs.
Yeah, bring your lawn chairs.
And where's the donuts gonna be? Because I heard you,
I didn't say
Have a
anything
donuts
about
there, too.
donuts. Joy may have put something about donuts, I don't know.
Always gotta have food.
So anyway, that'll be Friday, and then hopefully Saturday, provided he keeps it going. So I think the gold medal round's at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Does anybody know that for sure?
That sounds right.
2 or 2:30 on Saturday? Okay, anybody else have any other announcements? Once again, I just can't get over the fact that Lee's not here.
It's hard to
I
believe.
keep looking right there, and I think she's always here. She's a mainstay. Anyway, Okay, I would like to, I got some new business.
She just
Passed
passed.
away. She passed away.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Connie, I know you weren't here. Yeah. Just right before the meeting, actually. Okay, donation committee recommendations, you see the ones in front of you.
Mayor,
Yes,
can we do the minutes?
yeah, you can do the minutes, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I don't think we made it.
I did. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
Okay, I have a couple things, and that's why I want
Yes,
to bring it up.
go ahead.
First of all, on one of them, when you announced that Oakwood was doing the grants again, they got it as OKRA, just a typo. The only other thing that I would like to see inserted into these minutes is when the Conservancy District was here, they talked of the monies that they needed from the city of Lawrenceburg and the city of Greendale, which was what, 36 mil from Greendale, 26 million from us, and how old the relief valves are. So we have that for record. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, but I don't know what that was.
I got it, 85.
No, I know what.
5 years old on the relief valves,
But
and
but
I
the
wrote it
20,
down.
the 20, they did say 26, but it was a really light 26 as well.
Okay, I didn't know,
Sounded-
I just thought maybe,
We can have it recorded, though.
if,
85 years old, you said it was?
they were he stated that the relief wells was their main concern,
Yeah.
and that they are 85 years old.
Yep.
And just for our record, we have something to go back on when he spoke before, that's all,
Got it.
if that's okay.
Mark, will you make sure that gets changed?
What else, Tommy, you said that, and
Insert the monies that he stated,
monies.
Which
Yep.
Greendale, he said 36
6 million,
and
Lawrenceburg was 26.
26 million. And 85-year-old relief
The
well.
relief wells are
Right.
85 years old, yes.
I think they said there's 172 of them.
I believe so, he did.
Also, before we move on, for parks and playgrounds,
Yes.
I wanted to bring up the trees over by Arch Street Park.
Yep.
That was brought up. Do you know why those were cut down?
Yeah, they were dying. Our arborist that we have on staff. We also have 3 in the Civic Park that are dying. They're going to be replaced with, I mean, we're going to replace them. With,
Even the ones over by Arch Street?
oh yeah, they're all
Okay.
going to be replaced. He's going around on the streets as well. We're going to have a he calls it a planting program because there's some trees on the streets that probably need to be removed, but there's quite a few that he said he wants to replant.
Okay.
So he's working on that whole tree planting. Tony's been on me for.
Well, there's
three-
definitely something on the sidewalks that need to be removed, and a lot more need to be added. But the one comment that I want to make is, there was 9 trees cut down at that round park.
Uh-huh.
And you weren't notified, I wasn't notified in my district, he wasn't notified at Parks and Rec. And when somebody asks us a question, hey, what's wrong with them trees? We look like an idiot saying, I don't know.
Let me, and I can tell you what happened there. Chad's new, we just put him in this position a few months ago. And I went back to him afterwards. I said, hey, you got to let me know if you're going to do something like that. And so I can give people a heads up that it's happening and why.
Yeah.
So we should not see that happening.
I don't want to go, I don't want to see Newtown Park with no tree in it.
Yeah. So, but he's doing it for the right reasons. He should have let me know so I could have let you guys know. I agree with it.
All right.
I was as shocked as you were, Tony.
Thank you.
So we're going to go back in and grind all the stumps out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when I say, please, let's put something besides a little sprout there. Let's put some nice sized
Something-
trees back.
Yeah.
Something that's not gonna take 20 years to grow.
Whatever you want to spend, Tony. we're
Out of
gonna
your
spend.
budget.
We'll spend it.
No, he knows what we're trying to accomplish, so we'll get it back.
Thank you. There was just concerns
No
that came
problem.
up to me, so I wanted to bring it up.
No problem. Anything else, folks, guys? Okay, now, how about donation committee requests, recommendations?
So we gotta wait till next meeting to pass these minutes?
yeah.
We probably should. Yeah, we probably should, shouldn't we?
Or could we make a motion to go ahead and pass them as long as the changes get in.
Yeah, we can do that.
I don't care how we do it.
Yeah, as long as they put the
Well, then,
changes in.
can you change your, who?
I brought it up, and I'll
Oh, yeah.
entertain the motion that we approve the minutes with said changes added.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you for clarifying that, Mr. Fetty.
Yep,
Thanks,
thanks.
We got right past it again.
Okay, now can we do donation committee recommendations?
Sorry.
You guys see those in front of you? Any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the donation committee recommendations for August 5th.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I've got a Special Olympics request. This is the request that we have every year from them. You know, we do the fire truck pull, which is actually going to be this Saturday down at
Wow.
Civic Park.
Ready.
If you can make it down, please do. But every year they ask us for a $2,500 commitment as a sponsor. And I wanted to bring that to your guys' attention for tonight and get that voted on.
I'll make
Any
that
questions regarding that?
Only if Lenny will be the anchor.
What time do the festivities start? Do you know, Mayor?
I don't know. I think it's noon.
Okay, so hopefully we're all there anyhow, right? Saturday watching Mason
Oh,
wrestle.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, that's.
But I believe it is noon though. They start and they have grill out and everything. So it all goes to Special Olympics. So it's a really good event. Can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Dylan, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Does Lenny get to pull the fire truck?
Motion carries.
He's the anchor.
All the Dave's in there with me.
All right, next one we got is, Mr. Weldon, we got, the lot split that we're talking about here.
Yes, sir. If it pleases the common council, what you have in your packets is a proposed new plat for a lot that is split. So this would reflect the split after it's occurred, if it's approved, and then this would be recorded and the lot would be split going forward. This is the property on Walnut and High Street. It's the Strong's Pizza Building and the Antique Market Building. And it was the request of the person who's engaged with the Redevelopment Commission, who's doing the Economic Development Agreement to purchase this property. He also has an SBA loan, and they wanted to see this done as well. And so what we did was we had the lot split, and we gave ourselves back all the easements we would need to take care of the property, since we're not going to own it anymore. So we did all of that in the same document. Plan Commission's already approved it, so now it's up to you guys to approve it or not.
So the next step after we approve this, that Director Messmore can go ahead with the EDA with them. Is that correct?
Yep, we've got
So
the
we'll get that
EDA
moving.
already drafted, and then we would
Good.
move to a
Good
closing.
deal.
Yep.
Good deal. All right.
Questions?
I'll make that motion to,
If not, then I'd entertain a motion to approve the lot split at the Strong's Building, which is, what's the address?
That's a great question.
We got addresses on that?
it's 1 through,
We'll say the Strong's Building and the Antique Market.
That's easier.
is it 1 then? On the lots itself. I'll make that motion, Mayor.
All right, second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries on that. And then we've got a 919 Ridge lot split. That's up on the hill, I believe?
Yes,
Yes, sir, Your
Ridge
Honor.
Avenue. Ridge Drive.
This is also a lot split. It was also already approved by Plan Commission. This one had an extra twist because the property owners had to obtain a variance from the BZA. BZA did give them a variance. We've got some BZA people and Plan Commission people here, obviously. So this is a lot that was inherited and by the children of the previous owners, and when split, one of the parcels will not contain a house. It'll only contain a garage, which we have a prohibition against. But again, the BZA granted a variance to allow them to own a lot. One of the lots will have a house, one of the lots won't have a house, which normally we wouldn't allow that. But they came and presented to BZA, and BZA thought it would be okay. So, and you'll see that variance is actually written into the new proposed plat. it's not the revisiting the variance is not before us, but I just wanted you guys to know the background. Our job tonight is only to approve or not approve the lot split. And I think we have one of the property owners here.
Basically, brother's getting the house and you're getting the garage.
Correct.
They must like the brother better.
No, he's gonna buy me
Oh, okay, there you go.
I live across the street, so.
Oh, okay.
And I took care of my mom across the street, so. before she passed.
Okay. Any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the 919 Ridge lot split.
So moved.
I'll second.
Second, Dylan, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, and tell the
Thank you.
APC, thank you. Okay, next is SERPS, the Owner Occupied Rehabilitation Program. Victoria, Judy, you guys want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes, hello.
Not a stranger to it.
No, not at all.
Round two.
So yes, I'm Victoria Beckert. I work with the Southeastern Indiana Regional Planning Commission in Versailles, for those of you I haven't met before. Working with the city to submit an application to the Office of Community and Rural Affairs for an owner-occupied rehab program. The city has previously received these awards. It's been very successful. The funding agency is now opening up again. The last time we saw it was in 2022. So we are prepping all of the application documents. There will be a public hearing here in this room next Monday, the 12th at 11 a.m. We encourage anybody who would like to come to please come. We've got some flyers around town, thanks to Judy. She's been distributing those, getting the word out, so hopefully we'll have great attendance. So as a part of this application, we would ask that council pass a resolution authorizing us to submit the application and then committing the local matching funds, which is the 10% required for the grant.
If we, sorry.
Go ahead, no, go ahead.
If we submitted more, would there be more houses that'd be able to get this funding, or is it too late to?
Submitted more,
More
like
funds.
the local match. Yeah, it is too late to get points for the application though, because they match up the public hearing notice with everything, so we can't tweak it. But if the city is funded, you could always decide to put in more money at that time, look at what your waiting list looks like. So yeah, absolutely, that's
just
always an
curious.
option. Yeah.
But the total amount wouldn't change it, just
No.
move the
Yeah.
extra points if we increase their match, but the total we would get would stay the same.
Correct, yeah.
That's
That's 350,000.
350, which is nice. They bumped it up. It used to be 250, so they really listened to our input that it would be nice to get a little bit more money to do additional homes. So with this amount, we're probably looking at 20 to 22 homes throughout the city, which is nice because in the past, we've only looked at like 15 to 17, I think it was. So definitely a great improvement. This is going to be very competitive. Like I said, it hasn't been open since 2022. So I think a lot of communities are going in for this. But the fact that you have a waiting list, Judy's been in touch with the fire chief. We've gotten some fire run info that they want on the grant application. I've talked to Morgan to get some building code issues documented. So between that and hopefully a good attendance next Monday, we'll have a really strong application. So the application is due August 16th, and we will find out if it's awarded September 17th.
Awesome.
Don't
So
come back unless
pretty
we get awarded.
Quick turn, I know.
I have one question here. I've never seen this before. It says qualifications, home cannot be in floodplain. Are we not considered downtown as floodplain because of the levee?
You have a levy, yes, so you're good.
All right.
Yes.
That's
Good
it.
question.
All right, any other questions?
Oh, and you have the flyer in front of you, I'm sure, that has information. There's also this that we'll bring next week. It has a QR code for residents to take the survey. All you have to do is open the camera app on your phone, and it will populate the link that you'll just click on to take the survey. So anybody's,
Survey?
I'm sorry?
Do we get points for the survey?
You get points for having a lot of input put in on the survey. So if people go in and really put a lot of comments and we get a good turnout on that, it definitely helps.
We get Judy to go to Music on the River and
Yeah.
chase down some participation. Just worried about how many people might show up next Monday night, just.
And we'll really explain this to them too, because
Yeah.
it's so handy.
A lot of people get confused and they think that you have to have the app on your phone,
Yeah, just,
but you do not.
yeah.
Yeah, and I'll bring some paper copies of the survey Monday too, so if people want to fill them out manually, we can get that taken care of, so.
Well, this has always been a great program that
Yes,
we've
it has.
been a part of, and hopefully we get funded again.
Yes,
Thank you for your help, ladies.
yes.
Now, I got one
Greatly
thing.
appreciated.
Yeah.
What you got here, like your income limits. Now, what about, let's say somebody, let's just say one person, 58,000, make it simple. Let's say he had $100,000 in the bank. Does that disqualify him?
Nope, not at all. So what we do is we do an asset calculation. So typically it's 0.06% of your asset would be counted as income. So
You think he's gonna go back and tell that person right now that 0.06%, are you gonna do that?
You can just watch.
Yeah, it might be me.
Good question, Mr. Fryman.
It was a good question.
yeah,
He is good. He played golf all day. He's
I
gotta
played
be
golf,
tired.
and I'm getting grouchy because I ain't had my nap.
But you're, like, you would be answering all that stuff for these folks at this
yes.
hearing and stuff. That's
This is
good.
good
Yep.
to know.
Good.
I mean,
Good deal.
tell them.
And we'll have application packets Monday if people want to fill those out as well.
So spread the word.
Yes.
Anybody you know of is interested in this program, it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to bring 2 other people from my office too, so we'll have plenty of people to do one-on-one conversations at the end. Obviously, sometimes in a public setting, people don't always ask the questions that they want to, so there'll be plenty of us here if anybody has any questions.
Now, one other question I got, the ones who have received these grants before, do they go to the bottom of the list?
So we have a scoring system. So if they have received assistance before, we will deduct 5 points from them. So obviously, people who are on the wait list from last time that were not assisted will be prioritized. Then we will have new applicants, and then we will have those who have been assisted before, so.
Alrighty.
Also, you're saying people that's already applied 2 years ago,
Yes,
they're gonna move to the top of the list.
yes.
So how many
Bottom.
qualifications, or how many people are we gonna be able to serve with this?
So I think you had around 20 on the wait list. I've reached out to all of them to notify them of the public hearing, to let them know that they are eligible and they will be prioritized. And then, like I said, if you do get funded and the city wants to put in more money, that's obviously more applicants that you'd be able to assist and go down that list.
Okay. So I guess what you're looking for us to do is approve this resolution.
Yes, please.
So, any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the CDBG owner-occupied rehab grant resolution.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
And I do have just a few grant documents for signature. Would now be an appropriate time to get those signatures real quick, or do you want me
Might
to?
want to let us finish.
hang around?
We don't have much left.
Sure, no, that's totally fine.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Very much.
Okay, no other new business, any old business? How about comments from the audience? Yes, sir.
We have some new business.
I'm sorry?
Sir, you can stand up.
Could you come to the podium, please?
I guess this would be considered new business.
Sure.
This is my wife Linda Recton, and I'm Don Recton. And we live in Morris Hill. I'm a member of the Dearborn County Board of Health. Have been for about 15 years, and my wife is pretty well known as a music teacher around here. She had an accident. Well, I'll let her talk. She can tell it. Can you stand up?
Just,
Out of the way.
will the mic come down that far? Just pull it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I can talk loud because I'm a music teacher.
There you go.
I'll attest to that.
Well, but anyway, yeah, on April 1st, I was at Hamline Chapel, and I was ready to start rehearsal for a play. That was the first rehearsal that night. And so anyhow, when I was coming out to talk to some parents on the street, all of a sudden, I was hit from the back, and I didn't know what had happened. I didn't even know this because I was out, they told me, for 45 minutes. But what had happened was, and I was told this later, is that a gentleman was taking two dogs and he was on a skateboard, and two dogs with two leashes, and was going down the street, and down this street, and then turned right. He had to go one way or the other, and came my way, and
Then went up on the sidewalk.
yeah, he came up on the sidewalk and just hit me. He must have T-boned me or something, because he broke my back and my shoulder, and I have a concussion, and then I've got stitches in my head, and then a head wound. But anyhow, we're getting better. But I guess my thought is, do you not have an ordinance or anything against that? Because I don't want anything bad to happen to this person, but do you not have anything against riding a skateboard down your main street here with two dogs? I mean, he was going about 20 miles an hour, people estimated. And
It is on video.
yeah, we got
City video.
video from the police and stuff.
The
but-
whole thing, going down the street and him hitting her in front of Hemline Chapel.
So,
That would be something that the police probably determined when they came and responded to the accident, whether or not any laws were broken, and that would include local laws, city laws.
They never said
state laws.
they never said a thing.
well,
Okay.
they didn't cite him, so I assumed it wasn't, so.
Yeah.
But I guess what we're asking is, I don't want this to happen to anybody else. And if there's any way for you to have an ordinance or something that you just can't run your dogs and your skateboard down the main street of Lawrenceburg, and then, you know, because if this happens to anyone else, I just can't imagine it. I've really been through the mill. It's going to take about a year to get over, you know, everything healed up. That's what the doctors and the surgeons have been telling me, so.
Yes, ma'am. So sorry, that's terrible.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we will take a look at our ordinance. And if it doesn't have, I mean, honestly, if it's not in there, it should be. Because, number one, we got a skate park that we got $2.5 million in, that's where your skateboarders should be at. I say it all the time, we put signs up at our parks, you know, no skateboarding, because, you know, we built a skate park.
And you have a lot of festivals, because you have a lot of festivals coming on down here, too.
He's trying to say that they've got places for the skateboarders.
I heard that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And yeah, but yeah, in what you were saying, Jim, I mean, we don't want them on the sidewalks, of course, and there would be no reason for them to be on the sidewalks and having two dogs pull them down the sidewalk. There is no reason for that.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, I haven't looked at the ordinance. I wasn't aware of this accident, but we'll take a look at it.
Now, if I may say something.
Yeah.
Now, it all boils down to when this happened, she was coming out of Hemline Chapel, and she got nailed by the skateboarder. I forgot what my train of thought was, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm on the Board of Health in the county, and I can't even talk in front of people.
Doing great.
I got called, I was home, we were out to eat. She went home, or she went down to the church to go to practice. I went on home. I got a call from Dearborn County, or the hospital, saying that she was there. Well, she wasn't there when I got there. And it turns out that they took her straight into University Hospital because of the severity of the damage. The trauma. Okay? My daughter flew in from Florida. We went to the hospital to see how she was doing, and they were still trying to give her triage to see what was going on. And so the next day, we went down to the police station, and I forget who I talked to. Was it you? Well, I really couldn't tell because you go in there, you're isolated. They just talk through the glass. And my daughter and I told them what had happened. And my wife is up at the hospital, and the attending physician wanted to see any videos, because I heard there was a video, if there was anything on there to help him out on the diagnosis.
Okay.
They would not give it to me. They, when I got in there, they were on the phone in the office, and I could hear them talking to somebody. I don't know, can't say who it was, but they came out and said the attorney, the city attorney was not available, and they couldn't give it to us. And I said, she's up in the emergency room. The doctor wants some information on diagnosis because she was having trouble with her legs twitching, and they don't know whether it's the spinal injury or what the problem was.
Right.
Maybe the accident, where she fell, and I found out later on you really can't tell because it was pretty far away. But they wouldn't release it. And we finally got it, I think, 2 days later. 2 days later. And then I found out, I couldn't figure out why. Boy, I was teed off.
Well, so what happened, sir, is that,
I know there's an ordinance.
no.
Go
Well,
ahead.
so, you can go ahead.
No,
Okay, so what happened is that, obviously we value, transparency. Any city record that we have, we give those out, liberally to anyone that requests them, but we do have a process. You know, we have to, as you can imagine, if people just show up at the police department where the cameras are and the
Right.
recordings are and ask for a video, they wouldn't be able to just give that out at that moment. And so, with this particular incident, we did expedite it. I know 2 days doesn't seem expedited to you guys, but in the government world, it really was. And as soon as we knew that you had gone to the police department and talked to the clerk, that clerk very quickly passed it up the chain to the assistant police chief and the police chief. The police chief reached out to me. I don't have an office at the police department. My office is somewhere else, and typically all our public records requests, our rule is that you go to the clerk treasurer's office, but we didn't want you to have to wait any longer because it was a medical emergency. So we did not just expedite it and make it faster. We kind of went around the normal rules we have so that you got it as quickly as possible. We put it on a thumb drive. We made absolutely sure that you got it, where normally what should have happened is the clerk at the police department would say, well, if you want a public record, you have to go to the clerk's office, the clerk treasurer's office right behind you, fill out a piece of paper, then that goes to Mr. Fetty's team, then Mr. Fetty sends it to me, and then I have to review it, and then we send it to Chief Schneider's office, because again, that's where the video is. So we did do it very quickly because we wanted you to have it.
but with the trauma,
Do what?
I don't know what quickly is quickly.
Well, I just explained.
Well,
I know what you're saying, but you know, if she's in an emergency room trying to be treated and see in triage what's wrong, time is of the essence in a lot of times.
Are you speaking of the video of the city cams?
Yes, ma'am. So
That, because it took 2 months to get the police report and the body cam. We did get that, but that took, we went through the steps, I guess you'd say.
yeah,
But
But I was
anyway,
interested in the hospital getting it,
yeah. and
because
we-
he wanted to know if he could tell how she got hit, why her legs were trembling. And I think they think now it's because of the back injury. You know, that can affect a lot of stuff. That's why she was having trembling.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and very sorry for your accident. Of course, obviously, we hope you make a full recovery. And as you can imagine, most people who go to the hospital in an accident don't have the luxury of multiple high-definition cameras that the doctor can see. So, that was something that we wanted to get to you as quickly as we could. But like I said, if just some person shows up at the police department and says, hey, I want the video of Walnut and Short Street at noon yesterday, give it to me right now. Your story, obviously we would want to do that, but as a general rule that we have to make for everyone, we just can't do that. And so the general rule that we have to make for everyone. It would have been longer. We did it as fast as we could, and again, 2 days, that seems too long to you, but that's as fast as we could possibly get it to you, and hopefully it helped. Hopefully it helped your doctor make a diagnosis.
As far as they know, they couldn't find anything in the spine.
Well,
You know, they think it's all from the disc that was broken, and the nerves were messing up the legs, and,
Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that.
yeah,
How long ago this happened?
April 1st,
April 1st?
yeah,
April Fool's Day. I'll never forget it.
yeah.
As much as you want to,
Pardon?
as much as you'd
Yeah.
like to, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, and
Now, there's another issue. And, what was it again?
Well, I don't know.
Yes, it was.
Well, financially,
Yeah, finances, okay? The bills were, you know, $100,000 on our insurance and everything, okay? And that's been, I guess, taken care of, except for the co-pays and stuff like that. The kid that did it has no insurance, he has no job. So it fell back on us. So far, I got about $6,000 of my own put out for this, which was not our fault in any ways. How come the city can't be responsible for the difference?
Well, sir, I mean, I can't imagine you would think it was our fault. It's, again, very sorry that this happened, and this person obviously did something very reckless.
Let me interject just a second.
Oh, sure.
They knew, people knew, that this has been going on for a while. I go down to the rec center. I've talked to a number of people saying, oh yeah, we've seen him going down the streets before. That's been going on. The police department didn't know. The run-of-the-mill people knew it. It wasn't stopped. So evidently it was allowed.
Well, it wasn't allowed. It's when an individual does a reckless act, a foolish act, or even a criminal act, unfortunately, we can't pre-plan for that. We can only respond to it after it happens. Again, a terrible thing
Well-
happened, but
Why can't you respond to it before something happens?
Well, we can't predict it was gonna happen, I think is what he's trying to say.
No, him going down the street was reckless.
Can I weigh in on this, Mayor?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was the one that talked to you on April 2nd with you and your daughter, I believe it was.
Yes.
And I explained to you what I seen from the video myself because I wanted your doctors to have that piece of information. Furthermore, I think I talked to medical staff later that day via phone conversation. And I was in contact with legal as far as trying to get you that video as fast as we possibly could. But I hope that I gave you enough information that it gave them a path forward.
Yeah, you did.
That's what I was trying to do.
Yes.
Obviously, accidents are a travesty. This is no exception. But the novel concept in that is, and I think where people, and Mayor, with all due respect, I think where people lose focus is if they come to the police department and say, people are rolling through the stop sign all the time. Well, you set a police officer there, the novel concept is they're not gonna roll through the stop sign. So you could be very right on what you hear about this gentleman. He's not a kid. I think he's older than that, but.
He's on late 20s.
Yeah. That this happens, but if he sees a police officer, this don't happen. So, like if they say there's skateboarders on the stage over at the park, if I sit over there in a police car, I send a police officer, and believe me, there's no skateboarders in the park the whole time we're there. So, I'm not saying you're not accurate in that assumption. We try to be very proactive at this police department, and I believe that we are. At the same time, keeping the public relations where we need them to be, as far as letting people know that we're here in their best interest, right? I don't know that that's accurate, that we had seen him before or anything like that. He obviously made a bad judgment call that day. Yeah, nobody was cited, and a lot of accidents, nobody gets cited. That's totally officer discretion. Accidents happen, that's why there's erasers on pencils, because people make mistakes. But I surely sympathize with you in this here ordeal, but I'm not taking any side in that. I'm just saying we haven't seen any more. We have no record of any officer stopping them. I'm not saying that didn't happen, because they may not draw a police report on that. That's not, they might say, hey, get off the sidewalk, or hey, you know, you really need your dogs to pull you around on the skateboard. I'm not aware of any of that happening. Oftentimes when things like that happen, they stop doing it. They see a cop, they're not gonna do that. That's been my experience downtown.
Does that make sense, sir? So we
Partly.
we keep the city as safe as we can, but we can't prevent in advance someone from doing something stupid or dangerous.
Well,
We're
I was
really
just
sorry
going
that happened.
to summarize. I was just going to summarize and just
Okay.
say, well, I'm going to end by my first statement. I hope this never happens to anybody again. And that's why we came, because so that is there's any way that you can stop this or whatever to, you know, so that no one else gets hurt. That's, I think, what I'd like to
Absolutely, yeah.
summarize.
Yep.
So, we need to go.
Okay.
But we
Thank you.
appreciate you
Thank you for your
listening.
time.
I'll go.
Yeah, we hope you feel much better.
Yeah.
Any other comments from the audience? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second,
I'll second it, Mayor.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to approve payroll reports and checks once properly certified.
So moved, Mayor.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Mr. Fryman, what
I
happened?
was going to oppose. I couldn't even